Ready or not. Ready or not. Here I come. Can't hide. Gonna find you and then yo. Like a game of chess where I rest. No stress, no success.
Yo, what's good? This is Big Caesar Leo, and you are in the basement. You did. Look, check this out, man. How y'all been, man? I know it's been a little minute. I've been a little off. I've been going through a little personal things, but we back up in this piece. But I'm in here, man. And right now, I'm on some, I'm on some other stuff right now. Right now, as you always know, I'm from the Illinois area, so we got some things going on in Chicago that we're dealing with. As far as I don't know if it's ultimately it's a total community, but for people of color, like for Black people, it's major right now. I think it's a crisis. Me personally, I think it's a predicament, a huge predicament, and I think it's a huge issue that we're going through right now. And I kind of wanted to get on here and talk about it, but I had to make sure I calmed down, make sure I was ready. I can't give you everything you did. So recently, as we all know, there was a 33-year-old mother with her 9-year-old son and her daughter who were attacked by babies, probably 11, 12, 13, 14, maybe 15, maybe not 15, 11, 12, 13, 14, coming home from school. She was attacked coming home from school, walking home from school, because obviously, she probably walks home from school, or he told her he was being bullied, because she said in an interview that she was being bullied. Okay, so his son was being bullied. So she walked him home from school, her with her younger daughter. I don't know how young the younger daughter was, but I know her son was 9. And she's 33, so she's young also. She was attacked. Go check out the video. I might put a little clip or something up of the video. I don't know how that works. But she was attacked, stumped out. You did. Her and her son and her little daughter. They messed with the little girl too. Even though they was babies, you have to always remember that, because, when you got somebody so aggressive and violent, you got to realize they are babies. 10 between 14, they're babies, So you got to remember that. Certain things we know, they were attacked. We have video of them being attacked, regardless of what happened prior, regardless of what transpired or what the mother said prior to the video. We know she was backed up against the wall with her son and her daughter, and she was attacked. We know this for a fact. We saw it. You can go so many ways with this particular predicament. Let's say predicament. Because what are your options? We made our bed. We made our bed. What are your options? I've been thinking about it ever since I've seen it. Okay, everybody say the same thing. Charges need to be pressed, right? The kids need to go to jail, right? Granted, you're in the state of Illinois. These kids are, like I said, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 at the max. Remember, the son is 9. They bully him at school. He's 9. He may be a little older, 14. They may be a little older, 14. They're babies. What are you going to do? First of all, a major percent cannot be locked up. Why? Because they're too young. They're already violent. They're already experiencing or showing aggressive, violent behavior. You want to expose them to that more or try to manipulate that? That doesn't make sense. So what do? Do you lock them up? That's not going to scare them. Come on, man. They live in the shy, man. Come on. They're not going to like that. Come on, man. Let's be real. They might continue to do that for the rest of their life. Let's be real. That ain't going to do nothing. We could change them now. They're 10, 11, 12. If you can't catch them now, you ain't going to catch them. You did? So we know that's not a good option. They're not going to learn anything there. It's not going to deter them in any way. Anyway. But it will teach them certain things. It'll teach them certain social skills, or even take them out of the environment that they in if it's truly that bad or truly that detrimental to them being productive citizens in this country. It could help, but I think it does. You expose them to things at a young age. I mean, I understand if they're, older, but at a young age that they shouldn't be exposed to if you lock them up. Okay? That's one option. We got several options. You could do a lot of things. I mean, you could punish the parents. If you punish the parents, what do you accomplish for punishing the parents, right? Say you lock them up, right? The parents have to miss work certain days, miss money certain days, have stress, have embarrassment, but also they could be held accountable for negligence or just not being, I'm not going to say 100% involved, but being able to raise kids that are not out beating a 33-year-old woman and her 9-year-old son. You dig? You can punish the parents in many ways. Of course, the ultimate thing is bringing DCFS or something like that in that home. Separating that home, which is not always a bad thing. You splitting the family up of sisters, of siblings, and sometimes it might be for the better. You're splitting up families. You're not solving the problem. You're taking the major problem and splitting it up and putting here, 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 here. And some may go into a situation and be able to avoid those situations or come out of those situations easily. But some might still revert back to that same mentality or have to survive in that same mentality because those places they were placed were just as bad or worse than where they were. They were at home in the city. So you punish the parents, the kids they become our responsibility. Let's be honest. They become our responsibility now. They're with the state. Parent might lose their job, his job. They may have to. Or you can let it do what it do. Let life do what it do. Let them become a statistic. Or they might become because it's a success. We don't know. That's part of life. They might experience something or they might have a mindset as, I'll never do this again. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to go this way. Somehow the community affects them. And they, a couple make a different decision. And it's a positive outcome. But most of the time, let's be honest. What they going to do? They already got a major juvenile. They already know. Now, not only are they aunts and cousins calling them bad, now you got the whole state of Illinois. You got the whole country calling them bad. What you think she gonna do? She bad. She bad for real. The whole country calling her bad. I'm calling her bad. Let's be honest. What's she gonna do? What he gonna do? So how's that gonna work? We could do things like counseling though, interventions. Have the kid involved in some anger management classes, violence classes, try to change the way they think, the way they interact, the way they feel, the way they process tough times, fun times, sad times, embarrassed times. Teach them to be able to adjust to all those times. Be able to adjust to people that don't have your best interests at hand. Being able to just process and make ethical decisions. You could go a counseling way. That's an option. So me personally, and this is my own personal opinion, no, just experience, no evidence, nothing. I don't have any numbers. I don't have any stats, quotes. I think we need to educate, honestly. We need to educate. And most people are going to say, when you say educate, you mean go to school? No, that's when I say educate, I mean educate people, society, this country on things that they lack or things that they can become better with. I don't want to get into this whole, black man thing because I think it's bigger than that. So that's why I don't never want to put myself in that box because I think it's bigger than that. I don't look at it as like, a black issue. I look at it as a United States issue. That's just me, So somehow we have to reform our infrastructure in the United States of America. When I say by infrastructure, I don't mean like the major infrastructures. I don't mean those. I mean like I am talking about major infrastructure, I guess, because I'm talking about education. Me personally, being a product of, the United States education, because of course I was raised here. I've gone to, I started off in public schools and then eventually, went to private. So I seen a little different side. Fortunately, I've never been to a good public. I'm not gonna say good. I don't know if I'm a scratcher. I don't want to say good because I think my elementary school, it had some good teachers and they did what they could with what they had. So I'm not gonna say good, but I'm gonna say I never had some of the considered better public schools. That's the word I use. But certain things, education is huge. Education is huge in this country. Sometimes I ramble, so I get off the subject a little bit. Work with me. When I say educate, I don't mean like education 100% in the schools, but I do mean educating the population, educating the parents, the grandparents, the kids. When you have a country, this is my personal opinion. You don't have to force anyone to do anything, but you can, I don't know the word I want to use, influence people to be themselves so they can be individuals, but at the same time become productive in this, where we live. So I think if you start off by addressing the problem in those communities. And I don't know how true this is, so I don't really like to speculate and throw stuff out there, but I've been watching certain videos. There's people, with videos saying they talking about the mother, she's struggling. They actually live in an abandoned house. That's tough. That affects everything. How can you control 4 or 5 badass kids and you got to work 2 jobs because you only making $12, $11 an hour, $13 an hour? You can't survive. And they out here, and you think they vultures? They living around vultures. You better fight back. But anyway, I think somehow, some way, we need to learn to reform those communities, our communities. For instance, the people in those communities show several things. Effort, one. To show commitment and to show that's what we need. And to show that we are, I kind of got off topic, but we need help, man. And not, I'm going to be honest. Well, I'm going to go off topic. We got major issues. I'm going to tell you certain things I think that has destroyed my culture and how I grew up and where I'm at right. Well, not me as a personally, but I guess I'm going to say my people. And it's starting to affect us in such a major way. And I don't want to go down this road, but I have no other choice. That's where it's taking me, so I have no other choice. There are certain things, there are basically 3 things that are affecting us and that's killing our community, and we ain't going to back down. So it's going to kill our community. You dig? Number 1, the first thing, mind your own business. Check this out. We're in a community. We're supposed to take care of one another. We're supposed to love one another. We do love one another. We do take care of one another. How can your business not be our business? If you're making our community better, it's our business. It's infectious. We'll do the same. If you're tearing our community down, it's our business. It affects us. Everything affects us. So why should I have to? It is my business. Everything in my community is my business because we have houses in this community. We have kids in this community. We have people in this community. We have businesses in this community. It's my business. Number 2, and this is going to rub people wrong. Don't tell me how to raise my kids. Check this out. I understand that can't nobody come across telling your kids you need to do this, you need that. No, you can't disrespect them. But if you know a person or you listen to what this person has informed your kids, and if your kids are doing wrong, which your kids probably are doing wrong, and they give them direction, positive direction, good direction, why would you get mad before you even know the direction? Why would you get mad because somebody's teaching your kid something positive that makes them better? That's stupid. That's ignorant. If you know it makes them better, you're not even going to listen to what they were told, what they were informed, what they were doing. That's ignorance. You find out what's going on, then and then find out how they checked them, then you go from there. That's different. And the third one, you got to remember, I'm a 1980 baby. I'm 45 years old. This is run deep with us. No snitching. Great. So you let people that's got the probably same blood, not too far down the line, same culture, cut from the same cloth as you, take L's and get eaten up by vultures, murdered, robbed, taken advantage of, bullied, and you telling me you can't say none? You telling me you gonna let them just take that? That's our problem. No snitching. You ain't doing no wrong, you still can't snitch. I understand if you're doing wrong, you can't snitch, but you can't take advantage of people who's not in that game and you want to take advantage of them and now nothing is to be spoken of or said. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it at all. But this is how I feel. I'm just chilling it. You in the basement, baby. Peace out. Take care. Much love.